Instagram has to steal users' attention away from TikTok, which means you have an opportunity to generate results like this. If you have a strategy in place though. As always, make sure you grab something to take notes with and stick around until the end where I'll be sharing with you how to take advantage of your best performing reels within your ads. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so number 4 is stories. To stand out from the crowd and your competition, you have to show up in your own way. Marketing on Instagram is all about creating content that resonates with your audience and also understanding what Instagram wants to push to, right? So we have to pay attention to a little bit about what they care about as too. Sharing content from your stories, right? Or sharing content to your stories from other people will not yield the same return as your own content, right? So people call this like curated content. So you found somebody else who posted something cool, you're like, ooh, this is cool, I'll share it to my story. That's fine, right? But it's not gonna yield, right, the results that you probably wanted. It will also not yield the same results if there is never a face in front of the camera, right? So on here, if we never shown our faces, you may have a different appearance or a different approach or a different feeling about the types of videos that we're creating right here. So we as humans love to see faces. It allows us to trust, and trust builds brand, which also allows you to build an audience, right? We talked about this in our previous videos. So building that trust is extremely crucial, right? And you can do that through stories. Stories are the name of the feature, right? The feature within Instagram are called stories, but it is also the main point here, right? You need to be creating content to help tell your story every single day. It could be, right, talking to the camera, talking about working on the latest drop, right? Or hassles that you're having with manufacturing that everybody's having with China or other countries right now. What are the hassles that are going on within your business? That could be a story you could tell. It could also be behind the scenes of something super special that only your audience who watches these stories would know about, right? So you feel exclusive, all from that part of the story. All right, so these stories are crucial for many reasons, but one that is almost critical to reaching new audiences of people is your ability to take winning stories and convert them into ads, which is what we will talk about later. Now, taking winning stories and making them into ads is one of the most effective ways to generate a huge ROI for your business. And like I said, I'll share with you a little bit more about that later on how you can actually take those winning stories and then convert them into winning ads. One major step that most people are missing or really not doing correctly is their posting strategy. But before we get into the posting strategy, I just wanted to say howdy. My name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at Branding, and we're an e-commerce growth agency that specializes in helping clothing stores grow and scale profitably online. Now, make sure that you do yourself a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the latest strategies for our clothing stores. We drop new content every single week. All right, so number 3 is to put a posting strategy in place, right? The one issue that people have is they don't have any posting strategy, right? A lot of y'all are continuing to post static images every single day. And while that was sound advice 5 years ago, it is absolutely hurting you today. Instagram has changed into a video sharing platform, right? We've talked about that. And honestly, images are there more so because I think, right, people would probably be a little upset if you took the images away. It doesn't want you to copy TikTok exactly, even though that's kind of what's happening, but we won't get into that here. It doesn't mean you can't post pictures, right? But what it does mean is that you need to cut back drastically. There's no perfect cadence of posting, but let me give you an ideal one where if the world was perfect, you should be doing something like this, right? So just take this with a grain of salt of like in an ideal perfect world, right? So you'd be doing 2 to 3 reels per day that were relevant to your brand and content, not just posting to post, right? So quality will always trump quantity. P.S. Don't post these on your feed. I mean, what I'm saying is like your actual reels, don't post them on your feed. There's rare occasions that you should, but for the most part, don't, right? And the reason why, and I'll give some kind of context here, is that if your audience isn't live or like engaging at the time that you post, that first hour is super crucial for Instagram to push it. So if your audience isn't on there to engage, then it may not do as well versus you throw it into a feed and like think of it as like a whole different spectrum, a whole different area of Instagram where now it's thrown out to a variety of people who are actually live right now. And if it's good video, they'll engage with it and actually be shown to more people, and then it will actually be shown to your audience later. So just one little tidbit as you're posting your reels. All right, so next up is images. I would be posting 1 to 2 images per week. If you're posting more than that, you're probably not getting the full effectiveness of your actual marketing strategy within Instagram. Next though, right, is the Instagram stories, right? We've talked about this because it was a whole different section. on this video, right? You should be doing 10 to 15 stories every single day. Some people do more, right? But just kind of the minimum, do the 10 to 15. Engage your audience through stories, draw them to your link in your bio, right? Or call to action within the feed or a post that you have there. And the reason I want to say that is, right, remember your Instagram is to do one thing and one thing only, right? I mean, maybe it does other things, right? Maybe it builds brands, maybe it builds trust, it does all those things, but you're ultimately focused on one thing, right? Converting these potential lurkers into actual customers. If you build a huge following, right? Let's say you made a huge following, but no one buys, and then your Instagram is shut down, guess what? You do not have anything, right? There's nothing tangible, right? This is rented space, so make sure to treat it that way. Speaking of treating though, if you have found value in this video in any way so far, it would be an absolute treat for the YouTube algorithm and us if you would hit that like button. It's also free and means a lot. Just for doing that, here's a picture of a baby panda. All right, so number 2 is the IG advantage. I don't know, I made that up. Anyway, it's Reels. So Instagram will end in the foreseeable future push Reels because of these pieces of content directly compete with TikTok, and right now that is where attention is at. What this means is that you can use leverage to jump on trends and hack attention away. And if you're already doing things on TikTok, guess what? You can take those pieces of content, right? Do it correctly, right? Get rid of the watermark, upload the video natively. You can take those pieces of content and upload them as Reels, and you don't have to do anything different, right? Instagram is copying TikTok here. So because of that, you are gonna be able to do a lot better and reach more people, so jump on this trend while you can. Do not jump on the trends though and always copy the trend if it is not relevant. However, if a song is trending, you can take that song and put your own spin right on it for your brand. Let me show you what I mean here. All right, so I can go up here and let's just say I can find something that's trending on Instagram Reels, right? So let's just look at this, right? So there's this song, it's a Jonas Blue remix, whatever. So I can click on the song. That was for one person. This is, this is how a person from Long Island sages their room, right, with a bagel, completely different. And then it switches over to another person using the same song, riding a horse, because that's their business. Somebody else is using it to talk about postpartum, getting in shape for postpartum, like lifting weights. So all these people are using the songs, but doing it in different ways, right? So you find the trending song and then switch it to clothing, right? The last thing you want to do is just copy the dance, but then people are like, well, cool dance, I'm following this video, you did a great job, but it has nothing to do with the clothes, or I'm no longer interested in the clothes. And I'm just not saying that it will not work, but it's not gonna be as effective as if you actually use the song to create your own content for yourself. All right, let's look at one last thing here. We got is, this one's 100, right? 24 hours in Dubai, right? So you're using the song. At this point, it's probably a travel blogger or whatever it may be. So anyway, you find the song, you can actually go through, whether it's on TikTok or within Reels, you can look at the audio for something. Oh, I like this one, go through it, and you'll see a variety of different people creating different pieces of content, right? This person's actually skydiving, pretty cool. And then one other thing, as you're looking through these songs, as you're creating them anyway, look for the Reels that have like 50,000, 30,000 or less, because those ones have not necessarily blown up. The ones that get like 75, 80, 100,000 Reels that have been created from that sound, probably unlikely for you to be able to jump on that trend and reach more people because it's already been saturated. The next thing I would do is reach out to micro influencers to create video content, specifically Reels type of content for you as well. You can also use this post on your account, right? Their account, and most importantly, you can use it for ads, which we will talk about a little bit in a second, right? So remember the basics here. Do not overcomplicate it, right? What I mean by that is when you can't keep quality and quantity, focus on the quality. But remember, quality and quantity will always beat quality alone. I know that was a lot, but basically create really good content and do it consistently over time, and don't overcomplicate the fact that quality must come first. You'll get better at time. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and don't worry, ads can help you sprint while you do run the marathon, because I think that is one thing that is commonly taken out of context, is that this is a marathon, which means you go slow. No. You actually do need to go fast, and it is for a long period of time, but there are tools that you can use to help you go fast over time, and that is the ads that we're getting ready to jump into. Before I show you the inside of Ads Manager and how to set up these winning ads, I want to tell you about our free masterclass training for clothing stores that will walk you through the 5 pillars that you must have in place for your online store to scale consistently and profitably no matter what is going on in the world. If you want access to this free training, make sure you check out the link in the description down below. All right, so number 1 is Instagram ads for sprinting. In order of importance, you need an amazing offer with engaging content, but the missing dial here, the last piece of the puzzle for Instagram marketing, if you will, right, is the setup of the ads. So let me walk you through how to set up this campaign to optimize for sales. All right, so I'm gonna show you exactly what we would do here, right? I would literally go to Instagram, I would go to the brand that I'm working with, right? And you would sign in. I'm gonna go show you guys from the outside, right? So let's just say at this point, we're gonna look for Libby's Boutique. I'm looking for their reels. I wanna find the ones that are working the best. What I'm doing by quote unquote best, right, is the most amount of views, most amount of engagement, most amount of comments, likes, shares, etc. So this one has 119 engagements, 2 comments, right? Is it relevant? Right, you can always bet on making room for pie. They got reached a lot of people. Maybe it works, I don't know. This one has 2,000 views, has 1,700 views, 4,000, look at this. Who's ready for the most epic Pink Friday live, right? What I would typically do, right, is if I log into the account, I would just download the video or I would have it on to my phone, right, how you guys would do it. But if not, right, we're gonna switch over to the screen recording over on desktop. And what I would do is pull up the brand just like I did on the mobile device, right? So Instagram.com, look at the brand, look at the reels. I wanted this one right here for Pink Friday, 44 likes, 1 comment, has a good amount of views here. It's the video that I wanted. I want to download. I have a downloader installed here. You can also, right, if you own the video, you could download it however you'd like. So I'm going to download the video, save it to my computer. Cool, this is exactly what I would do here. Then I'll go over to Ads Manager. I go to the DCT prospecting. We've talked about this previously, right? So it's 1 campaign, several ad sets, 3 ad sets max. This one is a special occasion because it is during like Black Friday, Cyber Monday. What I would do here, I would duplicate this broad fall. I'll do a quick duplicate here. I'm gonna do website, but I'm gonna do, this is DCT for my Pink Friday, right? So at this point I'd have 1 website, go for purchases, dynamic creative, everything else is gonna stay the same, age, gender, location. I may do, let's see here, I wanna do Instagram stories, Facebook stories, Instagram reels, Facebook reels, because that's the type of content that I want. I would do 1 ad here, manually upload, let me see here. I'm gonna get rid of one of these. Okay, so what I would do is I would wanna make sure that all of these are Pink Friday themed. So on here I'd have a graphic, a single image, a TikTok video, or reel type video, right? It's for the purpose of this video anyway, a reel, and then a collection type video. I don't have the collection type video, but I am gonna add in the reel. So I'm gonna select the video. There you go, some spammers call me. Select video, I'm gonna go ahead and click upload. Upload from my computer, here we go. All right, so this triangle, this icon here, says caution. This video will be masked on mobile news feed, Instagram feed, and Instagram Explorer. The tallest supported aspect ratio is 4:5, blah, blah, blah. So there we go. You just need to make sure that you can see what it looks like here. So I'm gonna click on the video, right? I wanna see what it looks like over on these areas here. All right, so original, it's saying recommended 1:1, can't do that, 4:5, can't do it, right? It's not gonna really work. So do original. And if it only works on the stories, right? So let's cut these out and I'll show you what it looks like. So here we go. This is what it would look like on Instagram feed, works. Facebook feed works. Facebook Marketplace, doesn't look like it's gonna work there. Facebook video feed, not gonna work over here on the right column. Instagram Explorer looks good. Instagram Stories looks great. Facebook Stories, great. Instagram Reels, obviously it's gonna look good because it's an actual reel. And that's it. Cool, so that's all I would do. Make sure that I have the right headlines. I would change these headlines to be something about Pink Friday, primary text here. And if you guys are interested, like comment down below if you're interested in a video of like how to write copy for your clothing store, because I think this is a crucial piece. Just comment down below and I will create a video on how to help you with that. So 2 headlines or 2 primary text, 2 headlines, website should go to that collection, right? So the collection would be the website URL / Pink Friday or whatever it would be. And then shop now, always a shop now. Make sure the website events are set up, app events if you have something like live selling or you have your own app. And then we use UTM parameters for our triple whale, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And then that is it. That's all you need to do there. A healthy budget that a lot of people are asking about or questioning is, what do I do, right? So how much are I spending? I would be spending a minimum of $100 per day. But if you can't do that, think about a budget of what you can run for at least 30 days where you don't care about any of the results. Because what you're doing is you're giving Facebook the information you need from your ads, right? And you're getting the data back because you're getting to figure out is your content good? Does your website need help, right? Do you need a stronger call to action? Do you need more social proof? You're figuring out all these pieces of data out that would have cost you 20 years ago to cost you tens of thousands of dollars versus, over the course of 30 days, you may spend $3,000. You're getting all that data. And that's assuming you don't generate any sales or you don't make any changes. So we set this up, we let it run for 5 to 10 days. Really about 5 days in, we should have a good idea, what's the cost per 1,000 impressions? Am I getting good click-through rates? Ultimately, we're looking at purchases. Do we get a return? If not, let's look at the click-through rate, let's look at the cost per impressions, update our creative, and that's pretty much what we need to do there, right? Update the creative, update budget, update the website, in that order. If we do those things, we're gonna be in a really good spot to actually have sales that are generating real revenue here. So today, right, you don't ever look at a one-day window, but hey, we got 10 purchases for $8.44. Same kind of setup here. And the way that this ad is gonna work, and then we'll close it out here from the inside of Ads Manager rather, is that once this campaign is up and running, the $100 a day budget is built at the campaign level. If you only have $100 a day, I would suggest 2 ad sets max inside of here. This budget's a little bit bigger than that, so I have several of them. As you can see here, right, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 that are running. This one right here that I'm gonna delete that I just created. 3 max is really what we look at, not the 4th. So as you're creating these ads inside of here, broad targeting, focus on purchase, really good creative, and then just take your winning ads through Instagram, through your reels, put money behind it, and start to generate revenue. Then you start to get the results, and you can scale up from there. All right, so one thing that messes people up with their ads once they start to generate a return is finding out which ads are actually producing the return, right? With the actual return on ad spends. Because iOS issues that happened in 2021 where Apple literally said we're taking away this data, right? And people were then allowed to opt out of ad tracking, and so now we don't have as much data. Triple Whale literally fixes this issue and is over 99% accurate. If you want to make more educated decisions in your business and stop wasting money on ads that should have been turned off, check out the link in the description down below. And if you use code BitBraining, they will give you 15% off. Okay, now that you have a good understanding of how to market on Instagram, you need to watch this video right here on how to take your clothing store to 7 figures. Go watch this video right here next. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe. Y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.